Okay, this video is for my ladies, so boys, scroll along, have a great day, but head out. Okay, guys, stop giving all these boys the attention that they don't deserve. Stop chasing them because you want to hang out with them, because you fantasize about all the cute stuff you're going to do together and the fact that you're going to date. Like, we as ladies get so ahead of ourselves and we start picturing this cute relationship with someone who probably doesn't even want to date us. But
that's exactly right. Okay, you got all these girls chasing dudes who have straight up no interest in them. Okay, and then and what they do is they go out here and they break their own hearts. They start asking the guy, "What are we?" Right? And he only sees you as just a friend, just someone he calls over at early hours of the morning on a weekday. Okay, and these girls want to sit here and be so shocked when Chad isn't interested in them.
But we just get obsessed with the idea of them, and so we play it all out in our heads and get attached to that idea. And then don't differentiate that we're just attached to an idea and not the actual person.
Did you hear that, guys? Right? A lot of these women, straight up in her own words, they don't care about the person that you necessarily are. It's more so the idea, what you represent. Okay, so girls might be more interested in you later in life when they're looking for some more stability, because you represent stability to them. Right? When they're young and when they're looking for fun, you might represent the fun, the excitement, okay? Very rarely is it, if at all, is it actually about you. And I understand that's a very cynical take, but I mean, hey, it's the lady's own words, guys. Okay, a lot of men are not looked at, you know, oh, I actually care about him, I'm interested in seeing him do well. Too many men are out here getting into stuff like marriages and long-term relationships, not understanding that, you know, she actually doesn't care about you a lot of the times. And I'm not saying that that's all cases, guys. I'm just saying it's something you should be careful for. Let's continue.
But so then we get confused because we think it's the person, but it's not. It's you and your idea, your cute little idea. And that's fine, but don't attach it to one single guy, especially one guy who's not even giving you the energy and the attention that you deserve, okay?
And yeah, we're back again to the you deserve, right? I deserve attention, I deserve time, I deserve energy. And for what? Right, you think that you have some fun with a guy at early hours on a weekday, and you think that, okay, well, I'm entitled to this and this from him. Okay, I mean, is this not something that you wanted as well? Notice, guys, how you as a man, you're expected to give more, and if you don't, then you're not giving her what she deserves. So then she turns around and calls you, you know, toxic, or whatever buzzword of the day she would like to use. Maybe she'll say you're small, or you like men, or something else. Girls will sit here and they'll try and shame dudes into committing to them because they think they are deserving of it.
You'll find it with someone else, okay? Patience, I love you.
I think that was a good video, right? Because it highlighted a bit of what girls actually think insofar as selecting their partners, guys. But what is going on, gentlemen? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be going through a few clips, a few stories. You already know the drill. Thank you for sending these in, guys. A lot of the times, these are actually your clips that you've sent in to me. So thank you very much for taking your time to do that. But before we crack into it, gentlemen, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in, and come and join the Discord and the Locals, links in the description. If you're interested in supporting the channel, guys, Locals has an option for that, and it is super appreciated, and the link for that is in the description. It's free to join otherwise if you're not interested in supporting as well. One more thing before we crack into it, I want to say a huge thank you. We are currently running an art competition. It ends on September 30th. I have got a few of your entries, guys. You guys have been making some fantastic stuff. I have seen, if you have submitted, I have seen them. I haven't necessarily been able to reply. I get a lot of messages, but rest assured, I have seen them. And fantastic work so far, guys. So I just want to say thank you for that. But let's just jump straight into the rest of the videos we have lined up today.
If you're dating a guy and you're having issues and it's time to have a conversation about it, in my opinion, this is the best way to have that conversation. You're going to pull him aside. You're going to say, look, if you want a girl that has no life, who just sits around, is free whenever you want her to be, you don't have to put in much effort because she just takes the bare minimum, you can have that girl. There's hundreds of girls like that out there that would love to date you. However, if you want to date me, I'm not that girl. I have a life. I have a lot of important things. I don't like loose plans. I like to know when you want to hang out, whatever the issue is. And then you say,
you know, girls will sit here, excuse me, And they'll make these videos, man, of here's what I deserve in a relationship. Here's what I expect. I deserve this, this, and this. You know, I'm a girl who's ambitious, and I'm going to go out and focus on me and what I want to do. If you're not going to provide it to me, and that guy who has options, you know, the guy she's sitting down trying to have that conversation with, she's trying to have the conversation with, he's going to look at a conversation like this and he's going to laugh. And the reason he's going to laugh is because he has options. You want more than the bare minimum? Okay, go and choose a guy who would do anything, who would shift mountains to be with you, right? Girls always have that option open to them. There is always going to be a guy out there willing to take care of her who will shift mountains for her. But she'd rather sit on here and she'd rather make videos about how, oh, well, this is how you get commitment from a guy. Right? Make no mistake, this is something we cover very often on the channel, guys. If you listened, look, if you're a guy and a girl gets a relationship, you've had, let's just say she got a relationship out of you, right? She came to you and she gave you the what are we talk, and you said, okay, you can be my girlfriend, right? Which is the way it is supposed to go. You accept her into your life, not the other way around. If you have gotten to that point, she is probably going to frequently bring up to you discussions like this. She's going to say, I'm not going to accept the bare minimum, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I will say to you. If you want to sit there and you want to listen to what she has to say, and you want to take it on board and change yourself, please believe that she will leave. She is with you because of the way that you are. If you change that, right, she's going to say to you, I want you to change, I want you to change, I want you to change. If you change, expect her to leave. She's with you for a reason. Don't change the reason. If you want to keep her, that is. Let's continue.
Why don't you take some time, think about what you want. If you want me and you're prepared to do the things that I need, which are X, Y, and Z, then let me know. If not, all good. The thing is, though, you have to mean it. You can't say that shit and not be prepared to walk away.
Yeah, and the girls, when they say this stuff, they don't mean it. When girls come to you with this kind of ultimatum, they don't mean it. They really don't. You know, you might have a rare girl who will actually look. Sometimes fair enough. You'll get girls who will walk away. They'll make this whole spiel to you, and if you don't give them what they want, they'll walk away. Most girls will put up with this crap. They will put up with you leading them on for months at a time. Hell, you can be a guy. You can be straight up honest. You can say, "Look, I'm not that interested in serious commitment and stuff like that. That's just not who I am, and I want to be completely transparent with you." And girls will still stay in that situation without any commitment for months. And that's with you being straight up, being honest, telling them, hey, look, I don't want anything serious. And these girls will sit in this situationship trying to get you to commit for months on end. So these conversations, man, I just laugh to myself, because if you're a guy, look, if you're a man and she's coming to you with this, you're the guy with options, you laugh at stuff like this. It's funny, right? And I don't say that to be mean to the girl. It's just the argument is weak, right? Is what it is, because she thinks when girls make like conversations like this, she thinks that she's actually in a position to bargain, right? As if Stacy down the street isn't going to be more feminine and more pleasant to be around, and you're not just going to go to her. Like, these things just make very little sense to me.
Come at me if you want.
Well, let's crack into the next video. As I keep clicking on the wrong one, let's have a look.
But I'm just gonna hit you with the truth. Let me tell you right now, there is always gonna be a girl prettier than you.
Oh, there you go.
Always. Literally guaranteed. You could be walking down the street, prettier. You could be scrolling on Instagram. Oh, she's prettier, she's cuter, she's thinner, she was whatever. But here's the kicker. The right man for you, the man that you need, doesn't see that.
And you lost me. And you lost me. Okay, here's what I will say about this. Gentlemen, I've brought this up a couple times on the channel so far, but if you're a guy out there and you're choosing to date, right, you're not completely going your own way or doing something else, focusing on your hobbies, if you haven't left the dating market, if you're still in it, please understand that Instagram is such a huge tool nowadays, because women are straight up addicted to it. Right, what they'll do is they'll get on there and they'll compare their lives to other people. Men do this stuff too, right? We do this stuff, of course. Like, we compare ourselves to other dude. Oh, maybe he's richer, or maybe he's more intelligent, maybe he's taller, maybe he looks better, all this kind of stuff, okay? But girls will compare themselves 20 times worse, man. They get like this whole fear of missing out way worse. And what they'll do is they'll sit there for hours on end looking at other people's Instagram accounts, wishing that they had that life. And then they'll go out there and they'll rent the boat, they'll rent the condo from their, from their OF money. Not all girls are doing OF, obviously, but, you know, most girls will try and portray a lifestyle on their Instagram that they don't actually have, and they'll try and appear way more happy than they actually are. And that's just the sad truth of it, man. You know, that's a really sad thing to say, but it is what it is.
Literally what he sees is the woman that he loves, is the person that he adores, his dream person. He doesn't see other girls. The right man for you is going to be so about you and everything about you. Other girls don't even faze him. And sister, you...
This advice, right? Look, it sounds fantastic, right? It sounds great. But let's just question what this looks like in reality, okay? This option has always been open to girls. To have that guy who will make her a priority. This is an option. You've got to understand, guys. This is something that is permanently, pretty much, until she becomes very old, permanently open to girls. Okay, the idea that you can be taken care of no matter what, you can be a guy's number one priority. There will always be a guy out there willing to make some girl his number one priority, even if she doesn't deserve it. Okay? So when you look at this advice, when you look at girls, you know, cry about this stuff and whatever, take it with a grain of salt. Because the real mistake to be made here is you might be a guy, you might be a young, impressionable guy, maybe you're new to dating or you're interested in getting out there. So you want to know, like naturally as a guy, you want to know what's effective, right? So you might go to, I'm pretty sure I found this by typing in hashtag dating advice, or maybe this was one sent to me, I don't particularly remember. But nevertheless, it has the hashtag dating advice. So you might come across this video as a young man and think to yourself, well, this is what I want to do, right? I want to be what she said here because it seems to be effective, right? Why would she lie? The thing is, it is not effective. It could not be any further from the truth. You want to be the guy who's there for her, who makes her a number one priority, guys. You're gonna get yourself into some real sticky situations by doing that. Let's continue.
You deserve that. We all deserve that. And same with guys to girls. Like, there's always gonna be a hotter dude. But like, when you found the right one, it's just, you want.
Nobody deserves, guys. Men and women you don't deserve things by default. Okay? Like, I don't think men deserve anything by default. I don't think women deserve anything by default, guys. I think you should earn for what you get in life. Like, obviously, you should have the basic level of human respect and, you know, treating each other, you know, well until you have a reason not to. You know, just be kind to people. Basic human kindness, okay? But this whole... Look at her face. My goodness, I paused it on this. This entitlement thing, right? This I deserve, everybody deserves, right? Everybody gets something. Hey, it doesn't matter how well you perform. It doesn't matter what you do. You're deserving of something. It's just, look, that would be fine, okay? Except that's just not how reality works at all. That's just not how reality works, guys. You want something, you work for it, okay? You want the result. It's just inputs and outputs, guys, is what it is. And if you're not getting the results, the outputs you want, it's just the inputs that you're putting in. It's the same as the gym, okay? You know, if you're not seeing the progress you want, you know, it's not the gym's fault, okay? Like, what girls will do is they'll say, oh, well, I don't get what I want, so it's the man's fault, right? It's the man's fault for not committing to me, for not giving me what I deserve. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Them. You don't want Susie down the street. And I can't take credit for this advice. My dad told me this before he passed away. Come at me if you want.
I mean, look, there is something to be said, right, for choosing people who are interested in you and not choosing people who are not interested in you. I will give you that, okay? And look, far too many people are out here doing exactly that, trying to choose people who straight up don't have any interest in them. Both men and women do this a ridiculous amount, as unfortunate as it is. Men aren't as prone to this, right? Like we aren't. Girls will just go out and choose dudes who treat them terribly. A lot of dudes just want someone who, you know, who's feminine and kind and peaceful. Like, I can't speak for every guy, but you know, most men, I would guess, right, or at least I don't want chaos in my life, right? Want people who cause more problems than necessary. But you'll find that girls very much are attracted to dudes who cause problems, who are very unclear about what they want. You know, very unclear. What's the word I'm looking for? Emotionally unavailable, ambiguous, mysterious, whatever word you want to use. Those are the types of men that these girls seek out, right? Let's go into the next video.
Ever wonder why you always seem to be more into them than they're into you? It's because your mindset. So let's fix that. You need to change the energy dynamic of the relationship from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Someone's been watching AMS, I take it.
You're always the one that's more pressed. You definitely have a scarcity mindset. And what a scarcity mindset is you're saying that you want this person and no one else out of all the options in the world.
So let's have a look at some of these points, right? You think this person is the only option for you / that you want. You act out of fear of losing someone. You seek validation by giving more attention. You make them your number one priority. You make yourself number second priority. And that's her definition of a scarcity mindset.
If things don't go right with this person, you are going to be absolutely crushed because this is the only person that you want. And you act out of fear of losing someone. So you try to reach for their validation more.
This is what girls do, right? This is what a lot of people don't seem to understand is that like people want to brush it off as if like love is this positive thing that just comes in and out of people's lives, guys. Love is often a very it's actually for girls especially, it's often a very negative feeling. It's a very what's the word I'm looking? It's a very volatile feeling. That's the word I'm looking for. Right? Girls will fall in love with anxiety. They'll fall in love with, uncertainty, unpredictability, ambiguity, like we said earlier. And that's what makes them fall in love, okay? So what they'll do is they'll talk about it and they'll say, okay, well I just want a guy, I want to make sure he's in my life, okay? But what happens when you remove that ambiguity, you remove the anxiety, you also remove the quote unquote love that she had for you. You see that? You see how what they're doing is they're trying to sit here and they're trying to solve a problem, but when they solve the problem, they're no longer interested. And that's just fact. So like it's kind of like really what they're doing is incredibly counterproductive, and ironically enough, it only serves to make them more unhappy.
Someone with an abundance mindset is someone who is the star of their own movie. They know they are a total catch and anyone would be lucky to have them. It's really about knowing your worth and your value. When someone with this mindset feels someone pull away, they pull away too because they don't want to be with anyone that doesn't know their value. And as soon as you pull away and focus on your own life, they come right back.
Yeah, and look, that's not generally how it works for men a lot of the time. But, it's just funny to watch them sit here and try and solve a problem. And like I said, when they do solve the problem, they don't want the reason that they were trying to solve it anyway. Right? They'll try and get a guy, they'll try and be in abundance and make the guy feel in scarcity. These girls, they don't want a man who's in scarcity. They're not interested in that. They will literally run for the hills in that particular situation. Like, they don't seem to understand that what they're doing is so incredibly counterproductive. Okay, and look, make no mistake, they can go out there, they can do whatever they want, they can do all these tactics. I personally couldn't give a crap, to be honest with you. But, what they haven't realized yet, when they sit here and they complain about these things like, oh, well, he's not seeking my validation. They want to, talk about it and try and unplug it and everything. And what they haven't come to realize yet is all of this, what they're doing here is just completely counterproductive. Well, let's jump into the last clip here, gentlemen, and see what else we've got.
Facts you need to know about men. 1. If he doesn't call you, then he doesn't want to call you. 2. If he doesn't invite you outside, then he doesn't want to see you. 3. If he treats you badly, he doesn't care about you. 4. If he lets you go, he doesn't want to be with you. 5. Stop being genuine and naive and stop allowing all of his excuses and complications. Stop breaking your own heart for someone who really, really doesn't deserve you. Put yourself first, ladies.
It always bewilders me, right? When these videos, when I look at how many views they've got and how many likes and stuff they've got, videos like this are so incredibly popular, right? And when I watch stuff like this and when I watch the ladies absorb this kind of content, what I'm really seeing is just like a bunch of rats in a maze, right? Because they're all being pandered to with this kind of stuff. They don't. You see, this kind of stuff is it's all inverted for men and women, right? Like you'll notice that lots of dating problems, lots of relationship problems, the solutions and the problems themselves are inverted for men and women, right? And part of that comes down to the fact that, look, girls don't want a guy who doesn't lead the relationship. Okay, they'll fight tooth and nail to try and lead and try and make the man submissive. Okay, and try and do whatever she wants and care about her. But they don't understand how little it doesn't work for them. It doesn't work for them. You see, relationships do not last when, hell, they rarely ever happen if the dude's not leading. You see what I'm saying? Like, girls hate getting into relationships with dudes. Like, they'll only typically do it and this is something I'm getting a little bit tired here, so I might mince up my words. But girls will only typically get into relationships with weak guys out of necessity, right? The girl who gets in a relationship with a weak guy is someone who you should definitely be very concerned about. Oftentimes, the girls who do this will be, for lack of a better word, oftentimes incredibly evil, right? Or they'll be doing it just strictly out of necessity, right? They've gotten to a point in their life where they've said, okay, well, I need someone, so I don't care if he doesn't lead, I'm going to lead, but I just need that insurance policy for the rest of my life. But gentlemen, we're kind of going to wrap it up there today. Actually, no, we've got a few more stories to cover, so I'm just going to momentarily pull those up. But make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts as we go through, guys. Like, if you have anything to say about any of those particular videos, feel free to do so. And as we jump into the next two things, and we've got a bunch of actually short stories that are pretty funny here, so we're going to have a bit of a talk about these. The first one here, guys, is this person got 2 rejections. What the hell was that? A hug award. What the hell is that? Hugs with a Z. Goodness me, this platform is terrible. This is titled, 2 rejections in 2 days. Yesterday, I became sure of the fact that a guy I had been talking to for almost 2 months now is ghosting me. It was all platonic. I went on a date last weekend with another guy I was introduced to through someone. 2 days after the date, he himself texted to know my response and said he would be interested in meeting again next week. We decided to see each other the coming weekend, hence I texted him today, and he did not even bother to read my message. I know there are many guys, but 2 rejections in 2 days is just heartbreaking. This is like that meme that you see, right? Where we as men were like first time. You know, like that meme where that guy looks to the side and says, "Oh, it's your first time here." Like, a girl's complaining about 2 rejections, man. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Let me tell you this: even if you're a fantastic-looking guy, your rejection rate is still going to be pretty damn high. Like, even if you're like a very top percentile in terms of looks, like, your rejection rate is going to be quite high no matter what, right? And that, like, it'll simply be high by default of the fact that a lot of girls don't want to look easy when they answer you. Right, but man, girls complaining about 2 rejections, it's like Crimea, River, right? Like, you as a guy, you'll have to go through many more than this, and for her to say it's heartbreaking, it's pretty pretty funny to the men who actually go out here and try and have a relationship and stuff like that. You're going to be like 0 for 50 or something like that if you're not very good looking on Tinder. Like, you're probably worse than that. Let's be honest. Anyway. I had high hopes from both. I honestly feel very underconfident right now. I've lost weight and hair because of the stress in the past. I am 31 years of age and it's sad to get ghosted like that. At least have the decency to say sorry, it doesn't seem to work out. The reason why I'm laughing is because this right here is at least have the decency. Right? At least have the decency. Right, these are the same girls that'll get on Tinder and complain about the fact that men get frustrated when the girls don't respond to them anymore. And they'll have the audacity to turn around and say, "Oh, well, at least have the decency to say you weren't interested in me." I find that incredibly funny. But let's see what else we got here. I got a whole bunch of stories, gentlemen, so I'm trying to pull up ones that might be relevant to you. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. The hits just keep rolling in. This one is titled, "Went on a great date with a guy but haven't heard from him in almost a week. Went on a great date with a man. I've gone on enough dates now to know if there's mutual chemistry." Okay. "We laughed the whole time. He walked me home, gave me a kiss and texted me when he got home talking about how much fun he had. He texted me in the morning saying how much fun he had and we flirted a bit. I also responded to him letting him know I had a great time and thanked him for taking me out. Then it's been silence ever since then for about 5 days. I'm so confused." Gentlemen, I will say this. Please do not do this. If you're a guy who's dating, please do not do this. He walked me home, gave me a kiss, and texted me when he got home. Guys, like, pretty much everything in there is just a giant error. I'm surprised she even responded to him. She must be like, her options must be thinning a little bit, or he must be exceptional in one dimension or another. Because generally, this kind of behavior will just get you unless she's very interested in you off the bat, this kind of stuff is going to get you ghosted. But man, these stories are hilarious. They make me smile, right? Let's see what else we got here. Oh my guys, Another banger, okay? This one is titled, Do Men Ever Think, okay, maybe she has gone through a lot, let me be there for her. Okay, I've been in 3 relationships my whole life, and they was all so bad to me. I never felt like I was the problem because 2 is single. I mean, I'm single as ever, but I dislike guys that act like they want to be with you until they find out that you and your son is a package. Like, what guy wants to walk out on a lady he supposedly loves because she has a son? Oh my goodness, I am so fed up and ready to move on! Exclamation mark. So this woman has a child, right? And all of these guys is basically just girls just shopping out of their price range. That's all that's happening, right? If you're a single mother, okay, you're going through a situation like this, you're going to be able to choose from less guys. Sure, they'll have fun for you here and there with you, excuse me, but they're not going to commit to you, man. They're absolutely not, right? And any guy who has a bit of sense or any semblance of options is not going to do that, okay? And girls just lose their mind over it. How come you won't treat me better, right? How come you won't just come and take care of my kid and be a part of my life? That just blows my mind. But guys, I think we might wrap up today's show there. We might have to call it there. I have got to be heading out of the house now. So guys, we're going to call it there. Make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts before you head out. And guys, if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you come and join the locals. Locals and Discord are also free to join if anything happens to the channel. So make sure you come and join over there. But we're going to call it there. So as always, gentlemen, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I will see you boys in the next video. Peace.